Picture this. You return home after 3 days in the forest. The path is familiar. The trees are familiar. Even the giant baobab tree at the entrance is exactly where you left it. But your village is gone. Not destroyed, not abandoned, gone. No huts, no market, no people, nothing. That's exactly what happened to Obi. At first, he thought he had lost his way, but he hadn't. This was his village, or at least where it should have been. As night fell, Obi searched the empty field for answers. There were no footprints, no signs of a struggle, no evidence that anyone had ever lived there. Then he heard something. Voices, faint whispers drifting through the darkness. He followed them, but every time he got close, they disappeared. And the shadowy figures he thought he saw vanished just as quickly. By morning, Obi was exhausted. Then something impossible happened. The village returned. Every hut, every market stall, every villager, exactly where they had always been. When Obi told everyone what he had seen, they laughed. Some blamed the long hunting trip. Others said the forest had confused him. But the elders didn't laugh. They exchanged nervous glances, and Obi noticed. That night, he secretly followed them. Hidden beneath the baobab tree, he listened. Most of their conversation was too quiet to hear, but a few words reached him. Full moon. The bargain. He saw it. Suddenly, a branch snapped beneath his foot. The elders turned. Obi ran before they could find him. Days passed, and each night the moon grew larger, until finally, the full moon arrived. This time, Obi was ready. He hid near the baobab tree and watched. Midnight came. The wind stopped. The village became silent. Then he saw it. A hut began to fade. Then another, and another. People disappeared. Homes disappeared. The market disappeared. Until the entire village vanished before his eyes, leaving nothing but an empty field beneath the moonlight. Obi stood frozen in shock. Then a voice whispered from behind him, "You were never supposed to see that." And slowly, he turned around. You watch your entire village disappear beneath the full moon. Then a voice, "You were never supposed to see that." Obi spun around, but nobody was there. Only fresh footprints leading away from the baobab tree. The next morning, he followed them. They led deep into the sacred forest, a place no villager was allowed to enter. The deeper he went, the quieter everything became, until he found something hidden among the trees, an ancient stone circle, and standing inside it were the village elders, including his grandmother. Obi hid and watched. The elders placed their hands on the stones and began chanting. As dawn approached, the stones started glowing. The light grew brighter and brighter. Then the sun rose. Moments later, the village returned. Every hut, every market stall, every person, just as before. That was when Obi realized the truth. The disappearance wasn't the mystery, the return was. Later that day, he confronted his grandmother. At first, she refused to speak, but eventually, she told him the story. Long ago, a terrible famine nearly destroyed the village. The people begged the earth spirits for help. The spirits answered. They saved the village, but demanded a price. Every full moon, the village must leave the world of the living until sunrise. If the bargain was ever broken, the spirits would return. For the first time, Obi finally understood why the village disappeared. But then his grandmother said something strange. The bargain should have ended years ago. Before Obi could ask what she meant, a scream echoed through the village. People came running. One of the elders had collapsed. His hair had turned completely white. His face looked decades older, and he kept repeating the same words. The debt is growing. The debt is growing. That night, Obi followed his grandmother. He watched her enter the sacred forest alone. At the stone circle, she knelt before the ancient stones. Then she opened a small woven pouch and poured silver strands of hair onto the ground. Immediately, the stones began to glow. And Obi finally understood. Someone was paying to keep the bargain alive. Someone was sacrificing a part of themselves. And that someone was his grandmother. Then, without even turning around, she spoke. "You've seen enough, Obi." Slowly, she turned to face him, and Obi froze. Her face looked years older than it had that morning. After that night in the sacred forest, Obi could no longer look at his grandmother the same way. He now knew the truth. Every full moon, the village disappeared because someone was paying for it to return, and that someone was her. Standing beside the ancient stone circle, his grandmother told him a story few people had ever heard. She spoke of guardians from long ago, men and women chosen to protect the village. Generation after generation, they gathered beneath the full moon and offered years of their lives so the village could survive. Some grew old before their time. Some never lived to see old age at all. Yet the secret was always passed on, and the ritual never stopped. The months passed. Each time the moon grew full, the guardians gathered once again. And each time, Obi noticed his grandmother becoming weaker. One afternoon, she sat beneath the great baobab tree at the center of the village. Children played nearby. Traders filled the market. Life went on as usual. But Obi sat quietly and watched her. He watched the way her hands trembled, the way she struggled to stand, the way new wrinkles seemed to appear with every passing moon. And for the first time, he understood. His grandmother was not growing old. She was giving her years away. Months became years. Still, she never complained. When Obi asked why she continued, she smiled and said, "Because someone once did it for me." The years took more and more from her. Her back bent, her steps slowed, her voice became weak. Yet every full moon, she made the journey to the stone circle. Until one night, she could no longer walk there alone. So Obi walked beside her. Together, they entered the sacred forest. Together, they completed the ritual. And when the village returned at sunrise, she looked older than ever before. A few days later, she called Obi into her hut. She placed the woven pouch into his hands. Then she said, "The village must never know." Not long after, she passed away peacefully in her sleep. The villagers mourned her. They believed old age had finally claimed her. Only Obi knew the truth. When the next full moon arrived, the guardians gathered once more. This time, Obi stood among them. For the first time, he placed his hand upon the ancient stone, and he felt it, time leaving him. The stones began to glow, and the village disappeared beneath the moon once again. Years passed. Obi grew older. New guardians were chosen. The secret was passed from one generation to the next, and to this day, whenever the full moon rises, the village still disappears. Most people believe it is a curse, but only a chosen few know the truth. Every full moon, someone gives a piece of their life, so the village can return with the dawn.